Welcome, everyone, to the Dishonest Ape After Party. And so far with us, we have, of course, the guest of honor, Jonathan, also known as Dishonest Ape. We also have Pikachu, the gay atheist, who has joined us again. This is the second time. Pikachu used to be quite the fixture in my after parties back in the day. And it's back with us again. And across the pond, or from across the pond, we have both Sam Chaos, who is our resident friendly polytheist, I guess you could say. And we also have Rory.
Thank you very much.
Who's been on a Concorde and claims that the Earth is still flat.
Please don't.
And I just have like a quick shout out to Pikachu because I haven't seen him for a while either.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed the original discussion that Jonathan and I both had. If you missed it, I am Mama Atheist. If you missed it, you can join us if you like. I'll send you a link if you like. If you missed it, there's a link to the original interview down below in the description box, which will lead you to the relevant links to follow Dishonest Ape. Pardon me. Excuse me. A couple of beers already in me, and it's already the gaseous part of it's exiting now for some reason. Well, as I was saying to Jonathan before we started this up, or after the end of the last show, we don't really buy beer, we rent it. So
I have rented at least 3 beers tonight, maybe 4.
Exactly. But anyways, we were talking a little bit about, actually Pikachu brought it up a little bit about how Trump was promising everyone that there'd be some kind of vaccination for COVID-19 in September? Is that what you were saying? Or he was attempting to promise that, which is a load of horseshit.
Would be ready before the vaccine would be ready before the election.
Right. Well, we all know how well that went. Yeah. Unless you want to inject yourself with that chloroxide, whatever the fuck it was.
He was taking the vaccine that basically what had happened was when you guys had said that that there would be a vaccine, what he did, and when his advisors said that there would be a vaccine, what he did was he said that it would be ready at first, like during the summertime. Then when that didn't happen, he pushed the goalpost back, and he said it would be ready during September. Then when that didn't happen, he pushed the goalpost back again and said it would be ready in a few weeks, or ready by the election. And then when he knew the election was coming and he knew he wasn't going to win, he said it would be ready in a few weeks. And he kept saying that over and over and over again. And it just kind of fell by the wayside when he knew he wasn't going to win and he knew it was kind of one and done. Mm-hmm. And he just kept doing that. And as it kept progressing and getting worse, and he knew that he wasn't going to win and he knew it was going to become a legal issue, it just deteriorated the public's personification, the public's thoughts on whether or not this vaccine would actually work, because the science community was saying that it would be ready in a year or two or so, but they knew that most vaccines usually take for maybe 3-4 years to actually be produced, whatever the stuff was saying.
Not entirely. They're usually a vaccine for most of the viruses that we've come across where we did have a handle on, usually came within a year or at least just over a year.
Yeah.
Usually. Right?
But they were saying that it takes a certain amount of time for that to happen. But because
this is a different virus, though, don't forget that.
Yeah, but they were questioning whether it would be ready within the time that he would that they were saying, because he was doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few other problems in that your antigens, half-life is 35 days, and you're going to run out of antigens enough to fight the virus in 6 months. And this is going to be an interesting next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, the thing that gets me concerned is that living in Southeast Louisiana, the thing that I'm concerned about is that the right wing is going to get worse. It's going to get more it's going to get more radical. It's going to get more extreme. It's going to get further and further, whatever it is. You know, as Ape had said here, it's going to get worse and worse and worse as things progress, as things go on, even with Joe Biden in office, because now you have Kamala Harris as vice president. But this stuff with Trump not being there, the right wing's not going to go away. They're going to get more progressively worse as time gets on.
At least we have an evolution denier as the epidemiologist of the country.
Yeah.
I can Jonathan, absolutely, your boyfriend can absolutely come in for sure.
All right. I'll shoot him a link.
Yeah, shoot him a link. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Aw.
No, we started dating recently. We just I don't know if official's the term, but we definitely just we agreed that it was a thing.
I think we've got something here. Let's go with it.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Well, I wish you two all the best.
Thank you so much. Because he's going to get to try the crepe thing I was talking about before anyone else.
I'm already jealous. Like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm like a crepe fanatic. We got a great little place called the Crepe Shop here.
He's driving home. He just stated he's driving home.
Just offer gas and to check it. Well, I'll tell you what. Morning crepes or mom crepes, nice. Ragabash Dabbler. When you get home, that link will still be there because these after parties, especially on Saturday, tend to go fairly late. I don't really have any plans, well, except for brunch with my mom tomorrow morning. So I should be. Yeah, we do it every Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to a little place called the Red Wagon, which is famous for their pulled pork. What do you call it? It's the ones with the eggs on the muffins. What they call those?
Benedict.
Yes, they do a delicious
eggs Benedict. Yeah,
Benedict. Yeah, that I have to try.
Yeah.
If you ever get the chance to do lobster Benedict, it's amazing.
I've had lobster Benedict and it's delicious. I've also had shrimp Benedict and I've had all kinds of I'm a sucker for the eggs Benedict breakfasts. I've had multiple types.
I love the holiday sauce, and yes, I've missaid that just to be annoy some people.
I have made hollandaise before. It's
not easy to make.
No, it's not.
But when you make it good, it's delicious.
But when you make it bad, it's sort of okay.
It's like pizza and sex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, then you have to be in here with us, Mama. I sent a link to your Trump Got Fucked group.
Oh, that sounds like the best group.
And I'll join you. I tell you what. I'll join you. I've got although I can get more a little bit later on tonight. I got my last 2 gummy bears right here that I will ingest just for the show, as I always do. That's why there's now a meme of me as Neil the 604 gummy bear, which is just hysterical. Excuse me.
When I was in the Navy, whenever we went away.
Susan, does your shirt say #1 dad on the back?
Yeah.
What are you going to say there, Jonathan?
When I was in the Navy, whenever we went away, I would get a huge old carton of candy cigarettes, 5 pounds of gummy bears, 5 pounds of red licorice, 5 pounds of black licorice, and 5 pounds of root beer barrels. And I could just trade that for whatever I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was good. It was good. Good times.
Oh, Cockerwood. I did Tim Hortons for breakfast. I got a couple of bagels with cream cheese and my extra large coffee with 3 cream and 1 sugar.
I was stationed in New England for submarine school, so I got to have Tim's Hortons.
Yes, it is. Timmy's good shit.
It's good shit. It's good coffee.
Yeah, really good.
Like, good coffee is hard to find. Like,
so you were in Connecticut or Maine?
I was in Groton, Connecticut.
Okay. Is that A school or C school?
That was basic enlisted submarine school, A school, techno, and what was the other one? I'm drunk.
One of my friends went sub, and he ended up down in Georgia, St. Mary's.
Yeah, I was down there. I was on the Rhode Island.
Okay. He ended up getting ulcers.
Oh,
So he had to go on the USS Bruins, which is a destroyer, instead, because they obviously wouldn't let him be underwater for 6 months at a time.
Yeah, you got to have a clear medical history to go on submarines. They don't want you doing anything.
I don't doubt that.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Roy.
I wanted to ask you about that. I knew the engineering officer on the Royal Navy submarine that fired the first test nuclear missile.
Nice.
From a submarine. And also, my uncle was in both the Royal Navy and the Royal Australian Navy. But were you on a nuclear submarine?
The Navy only has nuclear submarines. The U.S. Navy only has nuclear submarines left. That's all that's there. I was specifically on the USS Rhode Island, which is a SSBN, which is a ballistic missile submarine.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I can't get into too much detail on.
No, sure.
Is Big Red the flagship?
One other question regarding submarines. Do you call them boats or ships?
Boats. Submarines are traditionally called boats in the U.S. Navy.
We call them boats in the Royal Navy too.
Yeah, I think the Germans started that with calling them U-boats.
Unterseeboot Flotilla.
Mm.
Is Big Red still the flagship?
Boats.
USS Nebraska?
I don't know.
No.
Someone likes your voice, Rory.
Oh, thank you, Susan.
Oh, that's sweet.
Sorry, Kakarot. Yeah, the weed's not legal in Florida, but it's legal here. And actually, the gummy bears that I have are THC gummy bears, and they're not the super high dosage THC ones. They're like a little bit lower dose, so I take 2. They're 25 milligrams each.
That sounds
so I get
nice.
about 50. Yeah, they're and they're good. They give you that nice stone after about 20 minutes into it. You'll be seeing me going, hey. So anyway, let's go to McDonald's.
I wish. Maybe we can see weed go nationally legal in America.
That would be nice. What were you saying, Sam?
I was saying the stream's in Canada, so it's legal right now, right?
That's right. Yeah, if you're on my stream and doing weed, it's totally legal.
That's how it works. Because you're in Canada if you're on the stream.
That's what I'm presently doing.
Yes, we do want to see Susan potentially get drunk.
That would be excellent.
Mandalorian.
Hi there.
Hi.
Turn off the stream because we can hear it.
Fuck, shit. Sorry. I told you I was stoned. Fuck.
It's okay. It's perfectly okay.
No, just take care of it quickly. It's all good.
I told you. You fucking dragged me on here. Hi.
Sorry.
Hi.
I hate that.
Not my fault.
I can distract you with my hair.
That's a lot of
That
hair.
always distracts me, Neo.
I'm actually losing mine up top, but it's migrating to be closer to the wonderful dulcet tones of my voice. So that, it's a trade-off.
That's okay. My partner is completely bald, so I'm good with that.
That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Where's that guy, anyways?
It is at like 3 a.m, so I'm assuming almost 4 a.m, so I'm assuming he's asleep.
I got 2 Brits in here with me.
Hello there.
Hi Sam. Hi Rory.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, seriously, it is. It's morning. These guys are going to be wanting to go out and get Timmy Hortons pretty soon.
I don't know how you stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. I am personally allergic to the concept of 2 7 o'clocks in one day. It doesn't matter which direction they come from.
So right now, I've got in one hand a joint, and in the other hand, I've got a Coke that has a bit of absinthe mixed in.
Oh,
That sounds awful. What the fuck?
that sounds decadent to
Don't
me, actually.
ruin a Coke like that, yo.
The thing is, though, that it's an aniseed flavored absinthe.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. That must be a good. I've got half a joint left here. If you, I still got like a half ounce I can roll up. So
my favorite mixed drink is a Grand Ginger, little bit of Grand Marnier and ice, ginger ale, and then a crushed lime wedge just dropped in.
Nice.
Well,
Now hold on. When
Sounds
you say
way too
ginger
easy
ale,
for me.
Yeah.
when you say ginger ale, are we talking Canada Dry ginger
Canada
ale?
Dry. I mean, is there any other type of ginger ale worth drinking?
No,
Well, there-
that's
there-
ginger ale.
Super bad.
Yep.
I mean,
It is the best.
There's
no, actually,
Schweppes, but it's too sugary.
there's this spicy ginger ale that I got once that was really fucking good. It wasn't Canada Dry though. It was like a
Oh,
Probably
specialty
Schweppes.
one, but it was actually really fucking good.
there was one I tried that was called Schweppes. Not Schweppes. Buffalo Rock ginger ale.
Oh yeah,
And
I've
it was with Southern spice, and it tasted like goddamn sawdust. It was just.
I will send you a link, Susan.
Mhm.
Yeah, Susan's gonna drag me out of here soon.
Hey, you guys, there was something I wanted to say. I don't think anyone's gonna believe me on this,
Okay.
but for several months, this is the thing that is really really crazy, and I got the thing for the media on this. Believe it or not, Amy Coney Barrett, I think I might have said it before, came from the same Catholic church that my grandma was raised in.
Your grandma was raised in a church?
No, but the Catholic church that she came from,
Oh,
Amy Coney Barrett also came from it.
I last up.
Didn't realize she was Catholic.
Yeah.
oh, look at this. Does Reed know you're
It's in
stealing
the-
his
it's in
ginger
the
ale?
same.
You got the dad jokes, Neil?
Yeah.
I'm full of them, and I'm
You've
not
been
even a
hanging
dad.
out with Kate for too long, yo.
Yeah, I know. Not even a dad that I know of. Anyways, but
Yeah.
So we got an international audience in here. I mentioned
Yeah,
Chick
I know,
Tracks
I know.
earlier. Is anybody familiar with those?
With what?
Chick Tracks.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, of course.
I actually got one the other day.
We're talking about chick tracks. What the hell?
I know, right? What a fucking
There's
Damn
some
it.
interest of mine.
So I was listening to this
Good to
week's
know,
episode of How
Bill.
to Heretic. I was listening to it earlier, and they're talking about Jack Chick,
Yeah.
and like,
That guy, yeah.
oh my god, like I forgot how like awful chick tracks are.
They're really bad. Like I don't like.
They're
I want
funny.
to tackle them as YouTube videos and talk about them a little bit,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know where to start. Do I want to talk with the anti-science ones, or do I want to talk with the anti-queer ones? Where do I want to go with this? You
I
know?
mean, there's enough of them that you can just go forever on them.
There's
First
content
year
about.
we lived here in Georgia. My son, when he was 12, came home with one in his backpack.
Oh
I
goddamn!
was not
Goddamn.
fucking
no.
happy about that. Hence
Oh,
why
no.
I attempted to start an atheism group in my town, and I did, and then I had a crazy fucking psycho Christian follow me home and was like, "Yeah, just ignore this." So,
Jesus.
I'd rather a
Oh,
kid
no.
come home with a porno.
I'm
Yeah.
giving
Like
my son
that's
porn,
normal. You
so-
can have a conversation about that. Like
Yeah. and to be fair, I was trying to, like, I gave him Playboys to try to not, keep him from watching online porn because I thought he was too young, but I knew he was going to look it up, and it didn't really work though. He's still,
I feel
Still
like
bad.
everybody starts with sexual content too young.
yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever ready for sexual content when they start looking at sexual content.
I think
Yeah.
people
Like
are
curiosity.
interested before they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we're ever going to get a Sesame Street style sexual content thing for teenagers.
Well, I mean, the issue is the
Sesame
fact
Street.
that it is new no matter what. So anything new, especially something that's such a huge part of what makes us up as humans, it's going to be jarring, and I think that's why it's always going to feel too young, no matter what age.
Yeah.
So,
You're not ready for it when you first experience.
no.
Like, oh goodness, I didn't have sex until I was 18, but even then, I wasn't ready for it. Like,
Well, I think society has sort of failed us in the sense that there's so much like purity culture involved with a
Right.
lot, even like it just permeates through everything. And even if you're not religious, it's still a lot of shame-based stuff. So whenever they're teaching kids abstinence only in schools, then it's just sort of supporting that whole no, you shouldn't have sex, you should be ashamed of yourself, and blah 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 blah. And it doesn't teach kids a healthy view of any of it. So then they do end up getting into like the internet porn and stuff and fun and all that. And then they have this unhealthy view of what sexual relationships can and should look like. But that's just me.
It's far better to kind of introduce them to it, let them know it's there, but kind of help them work out what the fuck they're actually doing, rather than make the billion slip-ups we all make now.
Yeah.
The thing is with it is that they're more, when you teach them this sort of stuff, when you don't teach them anything, that they're going to just go into it doing more sex. And they're more likely to get HIV. They're more likely to get this when you don't teach them sex ed.
Especially if you don't teach
That's
them
a great series, by the way.
research.
I might have over sex edited my kid. Like, it was very explicit and might have been.
In places like, I think it's like Sweden, I think they start teaching kids about like sex and consent and their bodies and stuff from a really young age. And it normalizes stuff so much. And this is something that Nathaniel and I are both just all like, comprehensive sex ed.
That's the thing. Like, I grew up, my mother was Catholic, and it was like, just you don't talk about sex ever. And it fucked me up. Like, I still have Catholic guilt about sex, and I never even believed in God. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so I know. I
wanted to try to normalize it and make it, like we joke about things and whatever. And, it's like when we're watching the Clone Wars and we have this long-standing joke about, whether or not the clones fuck.
I remember you talking about that.
That means that is it like masturbation, or is it incest, or is it like
what?
These
are good questions. They're good questions. I'm just saying.
Oh,
and to make it like so, and I spoke about serious stuff, but he can joke with me like that because he's not embarrassed about the sex stuff with me. So.
In the United Kingdom, I think we start teaching them at the age 5 about, sexual practices, all sorts of sexual practices, for that matter.
Oh no, by no means. I didn't learn what sex was until 14 in the UK education system, and that was from watching it out working porn. Working out watching porn. Fuck, I'm high.
Well, they've obviously changed it from your days, Sam.
So, in the Bible Belt, they really pride themselves on keeping kids ignorant of sex and of reproduction in general. But until I was about 8, I thought that it was like a chest burster style scenario is how babies came out, because I saw the movie Alien and I saw my mom's C-section scar.
Your brain connected.
God, your mom's C-section?
Yeah, I saw her scar.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I thought like you had a brother or something.
Oh, no. Well, like, I have brothers. It's just, I saw the C-section scar, and I had seen Aliens when I was like 5, and I put those two together. And just assume that the reason they had that many people in the room during her birth was to keep the child from skittering into the air ducts or some shit.
That is so funny, Jonathan.
Susan.
Oh.
It pops out of the belly and runs right into the air duct. He starts spitting acid all over everybody.
I have 3 children, and my wife had a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean.
Oh wow, they don't usually.
Which-
allow
That's
those.
rare. That never
yeah.
happened in the U.S.
Which is, well, this was in the United States, which is
Really?
very rare. Yeah,
Incredibly
in, Phil-
so.
in Philadelphia, and yeah, amazing. She managed it. You know, good for her.
Shit, I had something I was going to say and I completely fucking forgot what it was.
It's because
The
it's
guinea pigs
hilarious.
haven't even kicked in yet. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Come on, brain. What's left of you?
Uh-huh.
I'm just here.
Yeah. Was that scene from was it Fast Times at Ridgemont High where he hits himself in the head with the little van shoe?
I haven't seen that.
No, that was my head. I'm so wasted.
Excuse me.
Love
I
it.
know what you're talking about.
Oh, Amanda, our stream is gonna be fun.
Oh, also, by the way, Dishonest Ape. I don't think we've ever met, so I'm Amanda.
Hi,
Yeah,
Amanda.
same. Hi, I'm Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hi. It's like Crash's stream. I'm like, so
You didn't crash. I invited you for fuck's sakes. But both Amanda and Susan have great shows that they do as well on the YouTubes there. So
The tubes of views.
the tubes of views.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing our own here in 20 minutes.
Nice.
20 minutes. We're doing a celebration stream for the election because,
they went,
There's
we
a
bought
lot to
champagne.
celebrate right now.
24-hour stream starting the night of
There's-
election day.
It was a
You
very long
guys
stream.
gotta see this. The way
Very long.
I saw this on Twitter, they were posting videos of New York after Joe Biden won the election, and I was like, they were showing downtown New York, and I said, "Geez, and this reminds me of Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi, the one that they remastered when the Empire fell." And the Star Destroyer was destroyed, and they went back and they showed the Citadel and all this, and everybody was toppling the statues and so forth. And I was like, oh yes.
What's a
I was
citadel?
reminded that
You could
the
have gotten
Capitol
to
and
that
so
story in like 5 words, but okay.
I was reminded of the videos after the end of World War II in New York.
Oh, yeah, everybody. Yeah. Makes
It's
me
like
think of
that
a.
with
Yeah.
too. Angel keeps sending me like videos of it because he wants me to let him go, and I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. Like, you're 16. No.
I thought you were talking about the TV show Atlanta for a second there, and I was just all like, man, I haven't watched that show. I need to watch that show. Oh, wait, no.
Well, I mean, it's named after that character, so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Shut
Trump
it up,
scared
I
the shit out of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? The cartoon This Is Our President did something where they showed Trump as the Joker from the 1984 Batman movie, and he was doing the parade show from the movie. And Joe Biden was coming in as Batman to save everybody, and Trump was going around shooting off the gas, but it was really coronavirus from the parade floats. And then Joe Biden came in, tried to save everybody, but everybody, kind of saved himself with the votes and shit. And it was funny.
I don't know. I like the Avengers one that I saw with
saw that
Biden
today.
as Captain
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
and all the
That was
heroes start
excellent.
popping in with all the faces. That was so good.
Trump
Yeah.
should have never been this much of a threat to democracy.
Oh.
We made mistakes for him to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and we're going to have to be reconciling with how he got there
Well,
for the rest of our lives.
did you see AOC's tweet about how, I hope we all saved people's tweets so we could throw it back in their faces? And then a lot of people jumped on her and were like, no, we need to take the high road. And I'm like, you know what? The reason it got this far is because we've always taken the high road, and they know they could fucking get away with it because that's what we do every fucking time. No, we throw it in their faces. We burn these motherfuckers to the ground. The very fact that none of the GOP is standing up right now and saying, okay, that was wrong. He shouldn't have declared, victory. He shouldn't be spreading all this misinformation. He shouldn't have fucked with the USPS. He shouldn't have been spreading false information for fucking months in preparation for this shit. He shouldn't have had people pulling up ballot boxes and shit. None of it. And they're not. They're completely fucking silent, and they do not deserve to get away with it. Not fucking this time.
Yep.
It's
Sorry.
like how I feel about my father. You hold people fucking accountable for who they've been.
Yeah. My parents watch, they are huge Trump supporters. And I've the last 4 years or 5 years since Trump fucking, came out and said he was running for president, Fox has been on in their house every single day, almost the entire day, unless there's a fucking golf tournament on or a Yukon game. Their TVs have been off since Tuesday. So, yeah.
We need to get somebody. We need to get people like AOC elected more often, and get people who are going to put these people in their places and do more stuff to make it a lot more difficult for a lot of this stuff to come in place. Because to be honest with you, if you look around here in Southeast Louisiana, you look around in Alabama, you look in some of these states like this, the right wing is getting strong.
So sorry, Chuck.
And it's
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, the right wing is getting strong, and they're getting crazier, they're getting wackier, they're going harder on Trump, and the likelihood is you're going to see a Donald Trump Jr. running, and if we don't do something to stop it before it happens, it's going to happen again.
The Democrats need to work to undo the gerrymandering that has been done to the United States. We need to look at the district lines, and we need to make them make sense rather than having them set up to benefit the Republicans, which is what they have historically been used to do.
Hang on.
I agree with that.
Hold on. I was just going to say, when I got home today from my misadventures out in public, my roommate showed me a couple of videos of Republicans that have been basically keeping quiet through Donald Trump's regime as a fucking dictator, that are now able to speak out about it. And they're coming out saying that there's a lot of Republican candidates or party people that do not like him. So just so you know.
But silence, is consent.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Well,
fuck that.
I can understand that some northern Republicans are probably like that because their voter base and they're this and whatever. But I mean, and there's some Republicans that are like that, maybe like that. But some of the southern Republicans, I seriously doubt that.
I'm just saying that there were some that were coming out with their speeches now.
Yeah, there's some like Steve Scalise and all that are not like that at all.
But Amanda,
yes,
I'd quite like your opinion on Fox News, because apart from Tucker Carlson, I've actually found it leaning more to the left recently. During the election broadcasts, I don't know what
their decision desk is independent of Fox News itself, so they're more objective, but it's a low bar that you have to just sort of step over.
Talking about Trump, so he
I
doesn't get much lower than this.
So if I could follow up with that.
They were going to firebomb him after they announced for him, because they were protesting outside the studio, the like Trump fanatics, because they had just been reporting the numbers like it was fucking nuts.
Coins, drink.
If I could offer, we're drinking. Okay, if I could offer.
Every time you hear the coin sound,
you get a drink. And I'm really sorry to terribly interrupt. I gotta get some stuff ready for our stream here in about 15 minutes. Don't mean to steal anybody.
With Fox News,
Just let me
You
know
won't.
when you're like ready or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
Yeah, just hop in whenever after 8:15. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Al.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye for now, Susan.
Good to
Bye,
see
Roy.
you.
Yeah. So with Fox News, they have actual reporting, which is fairly accurate if a little bit skewed, and then they have their opinion pieces and their opinion people, which includes people like Tucker Carlson and I'm drunk and not anybody's Sean Hannity, I want to say, but
Oh God,
Yeah.
no.
yeah, they just
Damn
they have
Bongino.
opinions and they're never held accountable for them. And those people just say whatever the fuck the Fox News Networks wants them to say. Tucker Carlson is on record as referring to himself as the owner of Fox News' bitch.
Tucker Carlson is the worst kind of human trash out there. He is a
You know,
fucking
when you
foul
literally defend yourself as a company by saying in court, I should say, no reasonable person would take this man seriously. He's obviously very clearly not meant to be taken seriously. And then you keep pushing him on people as something to be taken seriously anyway. What the fuck does that say about you?
Yeah.
A lot.
Especially if a lawyer has decided that no one should listen to you, and the judge has agreed, or however that worked. It's just like if in a room of like a court of law, you're told no one should listen to you, and then people put you on TV. That's bizarre to me.
Yeah, the phrase used was no reasonable person. And the problem is that we don't turn out a great deal of reasonable people in the American educational system. And it's quite frankly sad and pathetic that we don't. We're given 13 years to turn out a functioning adult. And what do we do with it?
Jonathan, we have an expression, a legal expression in England, about the man on the Clapham omnibus. And it's a fairly basic idea of English law, which is that is the man that you have in your jury that has the most reasonable opinion.
Mm.
Sorry. I'm just trying to see if anyone else is going to be joining us for this, but so many. What is so funny?
Nothing.
Probably looking
Did
at
you
the
eat
comment
any of
section.
those gummies?
Huh?
Did you eat any of those gummies?
Yeah, I had a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just,
Yeah, they take a little bit to kick in, but that's okay.
And the joint you had before that?
No, I didn't smoke that. That's
Oh, okay.
I rolled it. I'd smoked a couple last night and then rolled one for the end of the night and smoked a little bit off of it. So
So
I
you
used to roll my own cigarettes. I
Like-
miss them so bad.
don't go back.
Guys,
Don't go back.
No,
I have
definitely
not-
not.
I've not rolled in bloody ages.
Oh no, I used to blow. I was good at it. I used to blow smoke rings through smoke rings,
Yeah, me too.
and I enjoy it. I enjoyed it, and I miss it. And the few times, Rags,
Hello.
hey babe,
Hey,
Going.
that's Rags. He's cool. He's cool.
Hey, everybody.
hello. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Long time watcher, first time participant.
Oh, wow.
Rag-
I'm glad to know that you were watching. That's cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rags is also a Bible Belt atheist.
I am. I am.
He's modest.
You-
Don't let him be modest.
Now, Rex, have you always been an atheist, or do I have to feature your deconversion story? on the show?
I had my angry atheist phase a couple of years ago, and now I've kind of mellowed out.
Yeah.
But no, I was very much a dyed-in-the-wool Southern Baptist. So
Wow.
You got to be a theist in order to be an angry atheist. That's
Yeah.
just how it goes.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Well, then we shall. Are you on Twitter? You're on Twitter, correct?
I am. Yeah, I'm on Twitter at ragabashed. So
Okay.
You'll see me on there mostly rage tweeting at Marsha Blackburn. That's kind of my MO right now. But yeah, no, please come find me, come talk to me. Absolutely.
I will do that. We'll set something up. I got a couple of dates left in November, so
Cool. Well, tomorrow's my birthday, so this would be a great birthday present.
Happy fucking birthday! I just had mine on the 20th of October, so
hey, happy birthday to you too.
I turned
Happy
ancient.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Holy cow! It's even in British.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, dear Parker.
Happy birthday to you, Neil.
Bon anniversaire à toi.
All right, we lost it. We lost it. I don't
Both
know
of you
what
guys.
Everyone started singing something.
I'm used to accents disappearing when people sing. I think yours got a little more extreme there.
Right?
Rory's just capped right up.
Accents only really disappear when you sing when it's American singers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Boy.
that's really cool. I say, I guess you're on your way home and you made it. You're in time for. There's still lots more after party. Fuck, we've only been going for like 41 minutes. So
Fantastic.
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Let's party.
Well, what's in the cup?
I'm stuck here
Oh,
now.
no, this is just
Cannot leave.
peppermint tea. I'm not partying that hard tonight.
Babe, you're making me feel like an alcoholic. You should drink it. I don't feel too bad.
Well, it's okay. Is it mushroom tea?
If only. It would be great to
wild
just
here.
microdose tonight and go to bed. That would be fantastic.
Right? The bark on the tree were as soft as the sky.
I feel like I need to go to sleep now.
I feel like I've needed to go to sleep all fucking week. Jesus.
Oh God, yeah, same way.
Oh no,
Well,
I feel like I haven't gotten a decent night's sleep for the past 4 goddamn
No
years.
kidding. Well, we did stream until 2:00 in the morning on election night doing analysis. So that was
Neil.
Oh fuck.
yeah. We went from it was Eastern time, so it was 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on election night.
Well, basically,
5:30 a.m. Central Time.
basically, yeah.
My man, Sammy Jenkins.
I actually take vocal lessons. I can sing much better than that.
Yeah, I've been following this whole thing for a long time, and I can tell you this, that they knew from very early on the way this election was going to go. Now, I mean, no, some people are going to say, well, oh, this sort of stuff with Nate Silver, blah, blah, blah. They knew early on it was going to go Biden. And I mean, months ahead of time that it was going to go Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that the amounts, when you compare the polls from 2016, they knew the polls and they knew the statistical data was off at the state level, and they knew it was not off at the national level. They knew that people were doing the wrong thing by miscalculating the national level and saying, well, the margins, they were taking the state level margins and then saying, well, oh, that's applied to the national level margins, and then not realizing that's not true, you can't do that, and then realizing that the national level margins were correct, and then saying, well, no, oh, Donald Trump won when the national level margins were actually correct. It was just within a 3-point margin, which they were correct on, and you were not realizing that there was electoral college that played out that actually gave Donald Trump the victory in 2016.
Yeah, I was pretty critical of the people who were critical of the polling.
Wait.
Yeah, sorry. I just got an email, so somebody's sending me some
Can you
shit.
just explain what the fuck happened a few minutes ago when you were all making weird faces at your window?
Oh, neighbors! I live in a
when you say you have an 8-point advantage.
What?
You think
I
I'd be
don't know what
lucky
happened.
living in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, but I actually
All right,
live right
awesome.
next to a wedding venue. So
Neighbors.
No, sorry about that. No, when you say you have an 8-point advantage, when they said that they had an 8-point advantage going into the weekend before, and they had already had 90 million votes going into the Friday before that came in from mail-in ballots, and they said, or early votes, and they knew that Democrats vote early. They knew that Democrats vote mail-in ballots. They also knew that Trump had specifically said for them to vote in person, and they knew that there was
I thought we lost you.
in whatever it was. The thing was, they knew that there was going to be a red mirage, and they knew that this whole sort of stuff was going to end up the way it did, and they knew that by the time the next week came, all said and done, Friday, Saturday, whatever it was over. And then, like I was saying on Wednesday, if you didn't have the gerrymandering in the county around Houston, they would have called it on Tuesday night because of all this stuff.
So
I have to
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's all. Just
Oh,
want to say goodnight.
wait. Man, wait. Before you go, did I show you that I got this?
Oh, nice.
Oh, wait. Here we go. The Mandalorian ship.
Yes,
I need
that's
to watch that.
not
So
real
good.
nice.
This is
That's
amazing.
Aren't you getting a bit too old for that sort of thing, Neil?
Oh
shit.
fuck no!
Fuck that. You're never too old for
Star Wars
Lego.
are the
His
bomb,
age is
yo.
10 and
Yeah,
up.
Neil.
He's
Neil,
part of the up.
I'm not going to tell this story on a stream,
Yeah.
but remind me, and I'll tell you my traumatizing Lego story from my teenage years.
Yeah.
What?
Did you
You
step
can
on
make
one?
sure to
Did you
take a
step on one?
picture.
'Cause that's traumatizing.
Mhm.
Neil,
It's not for the rest of the stream, though. It's
What's that? What's that?
make sure you
It'll-
take a picture when it's done. Angel will want to
Oh,
see
of
it too.
course, of course.
All right. I will see everyone later.
Yeah, sure.
night.
Go have fun in another stream. Sure. Kick me and my hair to the side.
Take care.
Yeah,
It was nice
I'm
meeting you.
headed out too. I'm gonna go
Nice
drink
meeting you
eggnog
too.
in a different
Bye-bye.
stream.
Take care.
Bye.
What?
I have to drink my celebratory eggnog
As one
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. I hate
in a
eggnog,
different
but
stream.
anyway.
That checks out.
So anyway, have fun, everyone.
Fine, you're going to another stream, you traitorous bastard. See if I send you another link. Huh? Put him up. No, I'm kidding. You go do what you gotta do. Wait a
Going back
second.
to what we were talking about earlier.
Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry. Wrong link. See, I told you. All right. Good night.
Wrong link.
Good night.
Oops.
Fuck off. Fuck, guys.
Sammy, I will have you know it is very choice sausage in here.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Sausage party.
Yeah.
There you go.
But going back to what we were talking about earlier, the Republicans have long relied on voter disinformation and voter disenfranchisement in order to get what they wanted done.
Mm.
And with a con man like Trump in the office, there was a slightly different strategy, but it was very much in line with what they've always done.
Yeah.
And it was just a level of dishonesty that they hadn't engaged in before. That was, you know, I saw Biden talking about the importance of being a president for all of America. And damn if I didn't miss that sort of bullshit platitude.
As someone from further away from the US, even over here, that shit's scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're in a position to hurt a lot of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
We're
speaking
your
of somebody
neighbors.
who,
Be kind to your Canadian brothers and sisters.
yeah,
and,
absolutely,
and others.
yeah.
Well, when you see how many people in the South believe in this QAnon, how many
Oh my
people in
God.
the Republican Party believe in
Unfortunately.
this QAnon,
Yeah.
it's bullshit.
Neil, can you show Christian's comment real quick and I can explain that?
No. I just saw that.
So
Hi, Christian.
in
Hi,
our friend
Christian.
group where we met, I'm referred to as dad and Rags is referred to as mom. So
Okay.
that's the explanation there. Christian refers to us as mom and dad.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's our sweet little angel baby.
Yes. You're grounded.
Christian, would you like to come in and chastise your mom and dad now? Is that what you? Because I can send you a link if you like. And Dave, if you haven't been in
I
a while,
remember I shared a picture of us on our first date and he squealed.
what is your your YouTube? What is your Twitter handle, Rags?
It's at Ragabash, RAGABASH
Okay.
D.
Just I always do a thank you tweet
Aw,
after these, so I'll include you in it. Of course, I include everyone.
sure,
that's
here.
part of it.
I'll throw it in over here too, just so people have it.
Sometimes Neil misses you out on a thank you tweet.
That's enough, Rory. I don't do that anymore. See, I got smart and started writing everyone's names down, so I
There
wouldn't
you
do that.
go.
Because after the gummy bears and possibly a couple of pulls off of a doobie, it's a little.
I told myself I'd write important things and I got one thing across the top and I didn't.
You got more than Amy Coney Barrett.
I got drunk at some point. But I have a nice pen to do it with. See?
That is a nice pen.
I do. It is nice. It's got some little engraving on it. It's a 1951 retro tornado. It is just absolutely a joy to write with.
Jonathan, is that legal to fill in a ballot paper with?
It is a ballpoint pen, so technically, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. However, you can write in a ballot with Sharpie
Yes.
in certain locations, despite
So-
what people will tell you.
In certain states, yes.
What's up, Taylor?
What's up, pimps?
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. So Taylor is, just so you guys know, also known as Flow State, has a channel as well. Taylor is one of my friends that happens to be a right-wing atheist.
I am.
Oh. Mhm. Now that's not particularly common. For some reason, a lot of us tend to go pretty left wing when we
Which has
go
been
atheist.
interesting to me, and I've got kind of a theory, but I'm still trying to sort out why that is.
I'd definitely be up for talking about that at some point. I don't know if I want to talk about it on this one because
Well, and to be completely honest, I haven't been paying attention for the past week. I voted for Trump, and then I just turned it off because it's a lot of antagonistic kind of gray areas.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And welcome, Christian.
And
Hey, thanks for having me.
my homie Jake.
So I think a big part of why in the US a lot of atheists tend to be more left wing is because, socially speaking, the right wing tends to be more of a Christian space.
that makes sense on some level.
Yeah.
That's the way it's sold, at least. Like that's it.
Like definitely with Protestant evangelicals, there's definitely a more tendency towards the right wing. But you take a look at Catholics, and there's not as big a split.
Well, and there was a big push in there was a big push in the I think it was the 60s to get the churches more involved in politics, because it used to be the advocated position of a lot of churches to not participate in politics. And there was a targeted campaign specifically centered around things like abortion issues and that sort of thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
To
but
bring the evangelical community in.
I
Correct
think
me if I'm
abortion
wrong.
has to be the most black and white schism of a topic that you could create for religious people, because most Christians have to vote pro-life, right?
It's an expectation. It's something that's
Which is
typically
weird.
in churches.
Right. So I mean, I think that as a political party, as the left, if you just remove that talking point altogether, you'd open yourself up to a whole bunch more people who like individual liberties, but also aren't obligated to vote a certain way.
Well, there's a lot of single issue voters in America.
There are, yeah. Here too in Canada, by the way.
But Rag, going back to what you were talking about, wasn't that a fallout from McCarthyism?
It may have been. It's not something I'm particularly well educated on. It's just something that I've read about in the past. But
Yeah, and I might be doing some post hoc ergo propter hoc there. As I have said multiple times, I'm just a dumb fuck who knows he's a dumb fuck.
which puts you ahead of a lot of the pack.
It puts me ahead of all the other dumb fucks.
You're another lighter fan, by the way, Taylor. It's a reasonable lighter.
Oh, I miss smoking so much.
Letting me on the show.
Huh?
Oh no, I miss
The only
smoking
reason
so
you
much.
let me on the show is for my cool lighter.
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually like you. I mean, we may have some different opinions on a few things, but that doesn't matter. You're still a
Andy's
human.
Canadian,
I'm
so
still a
he's
human.
Not let me on.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I think
As
all
long
of
as
this
we can agree that
all
I have a right to
yeah.
exist as a human being, like I'm willing to talk about shit.
Sure.
Didn't- a lot of this all started with this whole moral majority sort of bullshit, didn't it?
Well, yeah, you got to go back. I mean, you're talking about all that shit comes from like in the 50s and shit like that.
Yeah,
That's
And the
all-
stuff in the
Christian
50s goes
moral
back even
majority
further.
bullshit.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you take a look at the kind of Christian style evangelicalism that goes back to the what was the sermon, Rags? Sinners in the hands of an angry God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're fighting against a lot of stuff right now.
Randolph, there is a link in my usual suspects group if you want to join us. Randolph, by the way, is my partner in crime. He lives literally about 15-20 minutes away from me. And he's the one I'm starting that new call-in show with coming up in the new year. So
Yeah, and I am definitely drunk and not capable of talking about the nuances of politics right now.
Oh, you're good.
I am 4 beers in. Well, 3.5.
I'm a conservative, so I'm just high on the Holy Spirit all the time.
Yeah. I sat back and I literally look at how much people like Pastor Greg Locke are sitting back there and constantly going
guy's a
on.
clown.
With I know he, what's your name is going on with Trump, but how he's constantly supporting your side, and I'm just like, I can't see how he's doing all this, how he's supporting that position right now.
Look.
Isn't Pastor Greg Locke the
know.
guy who literally tried to convince his wife to commit suicide so he wouldn't have to get a divorce?
Yeah, he has to cheat on her too, right? So
Yeah.
which is why she wanted a divorce.
Yeah.
But
With the
regardless
church
of that, he's
secretary.
also the guy. Yeah, exactly. Not only that, he also burnt Andrew Seidel's book, the Founding Myth.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking burnt it on Twitter. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You just can't accept that something is factual that goes against what he thinks is factual. But what do you do? There's lots of people like that, right? That's cognitive dissonance.
Here's the thing.
Coupled with
He could
Dunning-Kruger.
be intellectually right, and I would still hate the bastard.
Can you guys hear the kids stomping all over my house?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds like you got a little herd of small elephants running around upstairs.
It's right for kids to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just yell at them?
I don't think it worked though.
No, just yelling at kids never works. Christian, can you hear us? Are you in right now?
There
Yeah,
was
I'm here.
something.
Okay, hi. Hi, son.
Hi, Dad. What's up, Mom?
This is our internet, son.
Yeah.
All right, it should be being resolved shortly.
All right.
We play
is your buddy going
D&D.
kicking some ass?
We play
Well,
D&D
I
on
think
Twitch
have
on
them-
Rolling
Can you
Secondary.
have them stop running around the house? And she goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, which is what you'd expect. Right?
I
Yeah,
think
good
the
luck with
implication
that.
is I need to stop requesting stupid shit. But
See, the great thing about kids is that you have someone to give the first crepe out of the pan to, and they won't appreciate the difference.
that's not how that works.
Yeah.
I want the first grape. What are you talking? I'll be right back. Of course, the beer rental thing is calling.
No, the first crepe is the crepe out of the pan that never turns out right. Like, no matter how long you've been cooking, like, you got to get the temperature right.
Here. I don't know. Isn't it? I don't know if I've had a crepe.
The really thin pancake that's typically stuffed with stuff.
Okay.
It's like a crepe Suzette.
Oh, crepe Suzette.
Fantastic.
That, that
they?
reference was cultured beyond me.
No, it's all right. It's just a really thin pancake.
Greatly, I've had several.
In Disgruntled Atheist, I wanted to say something. I really liked your talk to Neil about how the mental health community and the psychiatric community about how terrible it is in the United States, because, like I said, I have psychiatric disorders, and I've been through the system, and I've seen how people have gone through the PHP, the partial hospitalization program, and seeing how people go through this thing where they have to go through group homes and so forth, and they see abuse in the group homes and so forth. I've heard about how people have experiences that are just trash in those places, and how some of the shit that the psychiatric community is, how terrible it basically is in some sense of a way. And I know Shay has gone through to some extent with the group homes for some extent. And I don't know how Shay is actually doing right now, but with the group homes. But the thing is that I know she's gone through group homes with some of that stuff for a while, and the thing is that I know that whole system is just trash. And I've said that before to my own therapist, that if Obama would have actually initiated the thing that, I know that we have a conservative in here, probably not going to disagree with it, but if they would have initiated single payer healthcare, like what Bernie Sanders was talking about, then the thing is that everybody who has these psychiatric disorders, they would have immediately gone to nursing facilities that still allow for how should I say, for you to get they still require you to get how should I say, they still require you to get they require you to get
Spit it out.
insurance to have housing there. But now, because that insurance is paid for by the government, or would be paid for by the government, they wouldn't have no problem getting into it, because all of your medical insurance would be paid for straight through the government. So they would just get it straight into the system, and they wouldn't have no problems, because it would just be a single insurer through that system.
Yeah.
So they would constantly go into these nursing facilities, over time, to the point where they would have to give out, they would have to institute whole systems to put new nursing facilities just for people who are under 65 years old or who have mental disabilities and so forth.
So mental illness would be solved if it weren't for Donald Trump.
No, if they actually had just instituted single payer healthcare.
What the fuck's wrong with them?
So I definitely would make an argument for single payer healthcare system, but that being said, I am fucking drunk right now. I am 4 beers in. I mixed rum into the first one. Like, this is not happening right now. And Flow State, you seem like you actually seem like a nice guy. Like I
am
can't
kind of a nice guy.
Like I can't talk with every right winger because quite frankly, some people are fucking assholes. But you seem
There's assholes on every side of everything.
There is.
I try not to be unnecessarily belligerent because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to make a better world.
That's right.
And there's really like next to nobody who's trying to fuck shit up more.
See, here's the thing. I don't think anybody's trying to fuck shit up more. But I feel like there are people who don't give a fuck whether or not they fuck shit up more.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some, and I do think there are some people that legit want to fuck shit up. I mean, there's all sorts of.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel
to goodwill scale, there's all sorts of shit, but
I feel like
most people aren't there.
I feel like the people who want to fuck shit up more, who want to just, don't give a fuck, I feel like they're so much more vocal than anybody else.
I feel like a lot of that also comes across when you meet accelerationists, for example.
I'm barely familiar with accelerationists, but are you talking about people who want to accelerate societal problems so that they meet their conclusion so that they can have a good society?
So accelerationism is the best version I've heard of it.
It's a new one on me.
What is wanting to make society unbearable to the point that people revolt because the system's so broken.
No.
Okay.
I've heard of systems.
I don't think
like
anybody on the
left.
stream would approve of that.
No, I do know a couple of people who are like that.
Yeah,
it's mostly more left people who are accelerationists, mainly because a lot of more conservative thought is in relation to maintaining status quo a lot of the time.
Yeah. The scary thing about humans is that there's enough of us you can find somebody who supports any position.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good or bad.
Well, ultimately, we're dealing with. To me, the whole left-right paradigm breaks down into individual versus collective rights.
Yeah.
And I think that when you value the collective rights, you have more problems in terms of measuring and historical overreach than you do when you value individual rights. So I think there's a pragmatic and an ideological reason to choose right wing. Not that one or the other is going to be perfect. There is no perfect solution, and that's what everybody's trying to work out.
No perfect anything, dude.
Right.
But
I do think that when you drag too far to the left, historically we see problems that are huge compared to when you let people have their own autonomy.
Do you have an example of that?
Yeah, but hang on. Hold on. So, I know lots of left-wing people that are for autonomy.
So I'm going I'm on a libertarian to communist spectrum here in my
but a lot of people nowadays conflate communism with the true communism. I lived in Israel for a few years, and I lived on a kibbutz, which is true communism, where everyone works for the benefit of. Huh?
How big was it? Was it commune or a country?
What do you mean? It was Israel, the country of Israel.
Okay.
And they have things called kibbutzes, which is a commune, which is communism. The original way communism was meant to be, where everyone chips in for the benefit of the entire population of that establishment or wherever it is you're living, right? So everyone chips in and everyone gets equal shares and you take care of each other. That's basically what it was originally meant to be.
Yeah.
And of course, with any political party, things get bastardized, right, and get taken into a bad space. Anyways, we were going to say something, Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, as someone who sometimes supports some forms of communism, I would then disagree with that as well. And I know saying sometimes support is weird, but I can jump around between different ideologies. Sometimes I'll argue socialism, sometimes communism, sometimes syndicalism or anarchy.
Well, every part of that spectrum has its issues and its good points.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I think realistically, social democracy is our closest stable point.
Yeah, more or less.
Neil, can I ask you about your experience on the kibbutz? I mean,
Sure.
did everyone work equally hard, or did some other people take advantage of others?
Oh, we're humans, dude. I think the latter is obvious. But I mean, I know mind you, I was 15, 16, 17, 18 years old when I was there. So, of course, any time I had where I could just slack off, I would take advantage of it, right, and let somebody else do the work. But that's just human nature. Like we're gonna
but that's what it seems to me. If you try and form this commune of people who are meant to be working for the corporate good or the collective good,
right?
It never works.
That I don't agree fully with, because most of our
say from experience
don't
that
agree with that.
Well, for where I was, it worked fine. I mean,
but historically, the exception aside, we can look at the 20th century and say communism has not worked. Communism has been a catastrophic failure.
If you look at
and the argument that
Russia's a fine example.
That wasn't real communism, whatever the excuse is. The fact of the matter is
not an excuse. It's not necessarily an excuse. It could be a reason, not just an excuse.
The reason that doesn't matter is because there's always going to be Joseph Stalin's and
absolutely
dictators ready to take over. And how hubristic do you have to be to think that? Well, if I just did communism now.
No, that's not what I mean.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying these are things right here.
I'm just trying to give an example of where it actually worked that I was witness of. That's all.
I would semi-agree with you there, actually, Flow State, in that if you try and make a communist country, no matter who you are, it will fail.
Yeah, right.
The thing is that the way that communism would need to work, there are two big factors that need to come into play first for it to be realistic. The first is mass automation, which we're in the process of creating now. And the second is to get rid of the ridiculous notion of countries.
I actually disagree, because here's the thing. Okay, so you have the United States Constitution, right? In the United States, right? And you have our government the way it is, right? Whatever. Here's the thing. Okay, so on the state levels, in our state legislators, we can actually reform the state legislators to say that we could reform out representative legislators to the point where instead of having representative legislators, we have syndicated legislators, direct democratic syndicated legislators under direct democratic rule by the people. Now, this would all be ruled by unionized party membership to either the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, or by federal.
Hold on, why would you
federally recognized?
Why would you? Why? Because right now we don't have it unionized, but we do have Democratic representation down to lower levels. So we've already got that just without the middlemen.
So
the thing is, the reason why that would happen is that if you already done that, the expectation is that state that would have done that is that most of the laws that would be passed by that legislator would be far more progressive that they would expect than what would be done by just the non-legislator. Because the public is more likely to pass more progressive legislation in states like California than other places. So if a state like California were to do that, it would be on its own. It would just be, they would automatically have things like universal basic income. They would have Medicare for all, single payer, they would have $20 minimum wage, all that sort of stuff that we talk about on the left. They would have already had all that passed. Probably within the year of that being done.
So I think potentially here there was a bit of miscommunication in that I wasn't specific in that I don't think communism from where we are now is feasible. As society is now, we'd have to go through a long winding path of other methods before we could even start to discuss communism, especially because if you already have it at local scale and you can make it more democratic, that would be a step towards a different step from which we could then transition into a concept of communism if we decided that was the point to land at. Because we need a stable system that doesn't fuck people over, basically. And if communism were to be that in theory, and we thought we could apply it properly,
well, what you guys are talking about, what you guys are thinking most likely about as communism, isn't what communism is.
So, if we don't mind me
saying, that's basically what we're saying.
My problem with this right now is that we have atheists on here. We have 8 atheists who can definitely. Do we not?
I'm a pagan.
Sam is pagan.
We have 8 non-Christians on here.
There we go.
7 atheists. I'm assuming. Does anybody want to correct me on that? Because I will be corrected and I will allow it.
Hey, well, the good thing about being corrected on something is you're no longer wrong.
Yes. Yep. So I feel like we're more suited to discussing an issue that pisses me the fuck off, which is the lumping of atheism with communist Russia, the lumping of atheism with the USSR. And I think we could, if we could veer this conversation back to that, we could have something that we could definitely all add into.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's
so I know personally I don't handle that well when somebody lumps me in with Soviet Russia and the failings of Soviet Russia.
Right, of course.
Simply because I'm a secular humanist. And that is the go-to point for apologists who want to piss me the fuck off.
I would direct them to the concept that if you want to base it off something as socially constructed as atheism, then why don't we say, well, you're white, then why are you being white? Why are you being like Hitler? To invoke Godwin's law.
I mean, I would think that an atheist, that the atheist community, being as it prides itself on being grounded in logic and reason, would be more able to address this sort of right-left topic than most other people or communities or populations. It was actually surprising to me to find that there's a consistent heavy left pull to the atheist community, and that I'm basically like the only conservative around. I mean, every now and then, like if after hours when it's just me and one other person talking, somebody might, confess that they've got a little bit of right-wing leanings on this topic or that topic, but generally
I think many probably do.
But generally there is just as much groupthink in the atheist community on this topic as in any other community that I interact with. And I don't mean that as an insult. or derogatory
No.
way. It's just
No, you're absolutely
it is
right.
what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're a social species.
The
That's
atheist
what we do.
community are a community.
And again,
By
I
the
don't
way,
mean
you were
that
saying-
in sort of a derogatory way. I'm just telling you what I've observed.
No,
Yeah,
but one
no.
thing that I have found is that I tend to have a lot of opinions assigned to me the minute that I tell somebody that I'm an atheist, as opposed to being asked what my opinions are. And so when it comes to the right-left divide, even though I tend to fall further to the left, I also am not as much of an authoritarian as a lot of people want to make me out to be. I'm not commanding people to do certain things a certain way. I believe social safety nets are overall a good, and they've been proven to be like an economic good. But I think there is a limit to that. You know what I mean? Like the nuance is there. It's just when you get this many people who are trying to fight to stay together, it does tend to become an echo chamber. So it can be difficult to have those conversations, because I know I spend a lot of my time kind of saying, wait, don't go so fast. You haven't even asked me that question yet. And now you're filling in blanks for me like this is Mad Libs. I'm right here. Talk to me. Because I think that like Flow State and I would probably agree on a lot of things, and we might disagree on certain tactics, but I think, like, and again, like what Jonathan was saying, as a humanist, our goals would be the same. So we could have a really constructive conversation about it, as long as we don't go in assigning bullshit to the other person that we just assume because he identified as right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And every individual person means something different when they assign a label to themselves.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And actually, now that you said that, you were talking about secular humanism, and I just wanted to quickly show off the shirt that Shannon Q developed a little while ago that I had to have. I had to instantly have.
Humanism?
It absolutely is.
Hell yeah.
There. And I had to have.
I am also
That is cool.
ordained in the Church of Sexual Humanism. I
Right
know
here, too.
because she officially told me on Twitter.
Yep.
What is social humanism?
No,
sexual humanism. It's a joke. It was
No. Were you
Sorry, go
asking
ahead.
about secular humanism, or were you asking about
That one.
asking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
social
I know I've had to explain to me, but just give me like the two sentences.
Secular. It's humanism without the religion baggage.
What's
Okay.
humanism?
Do you believe that people matter?
That's it.
You're a humanist.
Okay.
Pretty much. People, no matter who they are, they matter. I mean, unless of course they're like a fucking psychotic killer or something. That we could
For my particular local area, what I ask is two questions before I even offer someone membership, which is, do you believe that people matter? And do you believe that a God is necessary for that to be true? And respectively, the answers need to be yes and no. And if you can answer yes and no to those questions, congratulations, you're a secular humanist.
That's right. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm mostly a secular humanist, but I'm
What do
other
you
stuff as
What do
well.
you mean, mostly.
Well, I mean mostly in that secular humanism tends to be referred to as a kind of moral structure.
Yeah.
But I don't find mine as simple as that. It is a part of it.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, atheism is not necessarily a necessary component of secular humanism.
Oh no.
You can still believe in deities or a deity, but so long as you believe that they're not necessary for people to actually matter,
bingo,
then you can still be a secular humanist.
That's right.
People assign value to people.
Yes. If you believe that people matter regardless of whether or not a God exists, you don't even have to believe that a God doesn't exist or disbelieve that a God exists. So long as you believe that people matter, you're fine.
And it's like, I am a secular humanist. I'm just also other stuff with moral regards. What was that? Sorry, Paul?
Do all people have to matter? Because I'm a conservative, so I assign values based on arbitrary, superficial.
So
no, not all. I'm going to say somebody that would rape and molest an infant wouldn't matter to me.
So Hillary Clinton's out.
I won't take the David Silverman route and say that,
I see you, Rags.
prisoners matter less than people by basis of being people who have broken the law.
Yeah, but have they? Some
But
of
I
them are in
will
there
say,
for bad reasons.
People who are actively harming people don't necessarily matter as much as people in general.
Right.
And that's a very hard thing for me to say
I was
because
mostly just playing devil's advocate.
I got
I
that
mean,
feeling.
Yeah.
I think my thing with it is that I hold the, I guess, difficult to defend position that I think pretty much every single human on the planet is redeemable, as it were, even if they've done really awful things. And
What if their brains are incapable of being redeemable?
then that's
they
why
might
I
have
said
a
for the most part, because
Okay.
that would be a very rare occurrence.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I actually say them? No.
So I think we're in a
Welcome,
position
Randolph.
then where that's an absolute tragedy. And
Well, and I would even go so far that is to say that if it's the case that we can't currently solve the problem, that's not necessarily an excuse to utterly devalue that person, because we grow when we run into really difficult problems.
Oh yeah, they don't lose value.
Yeah.
They just become very difficult to argue for maintaining, trying to help them, because I'm very much for teach a person why what they did was wrong and how it caused harm. And honestly, if a law is in place that is punishing people for doing something that causes no harm, I'm confused as to why that law needs to exist.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Any secular humanist should be against capital punishment. Period.
Yep. Yeah.
Even
now,
if
when you say
even
capital
in
punishment,
general.
what
On
do you
what basis,
specifically mean?
though? Why do you think that's the case?
Because I don't think that people should be put to death for various reasons, even if they had committed crimes.
How do you feel about
Even if they
euthanasia?
are less. Even if they are less.
How do you feel about
less meaning to
euthanasia?
be in society.
Hold on.
Because you can't rule out death penalty without also ruling out euthanasia.
Hold on.
I feel like
Are we
that's
specifically
a false
talking?
equivalence.
Hold on, you guys.
Sorry,
One
Sam,
at a
but
time.
So I think that potentially euthanasia and capital punishment are
They're two different things.
different.
Yeah.
It would be a false equivalence to say the two are the same there,
Yeah.
because with capital punishment, it is removing someone's ability to live, whereas euthanasia is a decision that it is not worth it for them to live.
Most people will
Thank you.
rather be executed than spend the rest of their life in solitary confinement.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
I am also against solitary confinement as sole punishment, as a way to keep people away from
I would
punishment
agree with
they
that
will
too.
harm, sure, but I don't think that solitary confinement should be a punishment. I think it should be a step to protect other people.
I think it should be rehabilitation, not necessarily punishment.
Absolutely.
What if they can't be rehabilitated?
So
Yeah, to an extent.
I am not always going to know the right thing to do. I'm
No,
not.
of course not.
End of
Oh,
story.
no, we're all
Nobody could
left
say they
domain.
would be.
Well, not end of story, but continuation of story. You know. But Flow State, are you familiar with Terry Pratchett? Sorry,
Close
you're
to
muted.
the microphone's off, and I like your flag.
Oh, thank you. Am I familiar with what?
Terry Pratchett.
Sounds familiar.
Terry
an
Pratchett
author.
is an author that I have a lot of respect for, but he caught early onset dementia during his later years. And during that time when his life was ending, he made a very poignant defense of a person's right to choose death. And
I'm all for that.
I
by the way.
respected that man a lot. And I think he made a very good defense of it. And I am drunk off my ass right now, so I can't quote it verbatim. And I
You're
probably
good.
wouldn't be able to do it sober. But his words actually meant a lot to me on it.
Yeah.
So,
Pratchett's
and I'm
very-
kind of playing devil's advocate. I'm not a fan of capital punishment either, but it's
Oh,
based
yeah.
purely off the fact that I don't that our criminal justice system isn't competent enough to meter it out appropriately.
So
I think
Yeah, I would
that-
agree.
I think that if we could apply capital punishment in a consistent, fair way that eliminated all the bullshit, then I would be for it, because I do think there are people that don't deserve to live. At some point, you forfeit your right to life, in my mind. But I don't think we can meter it out. I do think we get a lot of prosecutors that are selfish and ambitious, and so we end up getting convictions for the easiest person to convict, not the right person to convict.
The problem is that as human beings, we can be wrong.
I've
And we are
actually written
always
about this, and I came up with a solution to this, a serious one. And what it is instead of capital punishment, you just have life sentence. It's with minimum time served. After the minimum time served, the convict then has the option to apply to a judge to request capital punishment, but it's their choice to get it. Otherwise, by default, that choice isn't made for them. So this way, their human right to personal sovereignty is not violated.
So
I think that's really good.
A euthanasia.
I put a link to the private chat where I explain it in detail, and it's just
I'll
less than easy
I'll
read.
definitely take a look at it when I'm more sober.
Yeah, Sam.
Yes.
Sam, on that subject of euthanasia, you're from England. You know we're in lockdown.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that Matt Hancock, the Foreign Secretary, said it is a reasonable excuse to travel abroad for euthanasia, but you're not allowed to fly on business? That was like a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Weird.
Matt Hancock is he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I'm
guys,
not sure.
I'm done renting this beer, so I'm going to be a minute.
All right.
Okay.
So, I don't know enough about the details of it to give an informed opinion, but just intuitively, that feels like it shouldn't work, especially because often euthanasia clinics will require you to have a person with you, if memory serves. And so that would require someone still coming back into the country, so it's not like you're just shipping someone out.
Well, as you know, everyone in the United Kingdom is talking about what is a reasonable excuse to go shopping, traveling. And he said, "Oh no, that's okay. If you want to go euthanize yourself abroad, that's fine. But you might be right in terms of
I don't see a
someone
problem with it because here in Canada, it's a valid medical procedure.
Yeah, see, I feel like potentially I can see an argument for preventing people access to euthanasia while we're in lockdown in the UK, because I know depression is very high. And so while I don't know if I agree with it, I can see an argument being made that you should get people to wait until we're coming out of it before they have access to that stuff.
Well, I would agree with you there, definitely.
Actually, if I may relate a little bit of a personal story along the lines of this, my original guitar player, Will, had an embolism, I think, or something along those lines, and they operated on it and they fixed it. Then a bunch of years later, when he was 54, he had another one. And they put him in. They said, this one's a little bit deeper than the last one you had, so we're going to have to induce a coma to operate to fix the problem. And they went ahead and did that. He gave his consent and all that, because they do that here in Canada. And they went ahead and they put him under. They induced a coma. They went to operate on him. And while he was under, he had another one plus a stroke. Mm-hmm. So when he came out, actually, they didn't revive him, because they basically went to the family and said, listen, if we revive Will now, he will be a permanent vegetable for the rest of his life. So they left the decision to the family whether or not to pull him off the whole, put him to death or keep him alive with the machines. Yeah. And that's a tough decision to make, especially when it's your loved one. So ultimately the family hashed it out and they said, yeah, no, we can't, we wouldn't even want him, and he wouldn't want to be left alive as a vegetable. So they decided to pull the plug and let him go.
Yeah, and that's
and then they keep this. Yeah, but it's along the same lines, right? Like, it's a tough one to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's, back 15 years ago in the U.S., we had the Terry Schiavo case, which was very similar, where the woman was in a permanent vegetative state, and her husband said she would have wanted to sign a DNR. She would not want to live in this prolonged state, and the rest of the family fought him on it, and it dragged out for years.
Like 7 or 8 years, I think.
It was a long time. I'd have to look it up to be sure, but yeah. And that it brings up some interesting questions. But absolutely, the ability to control your own quality of life and whether or not that meets a certain standard. I think you can make the argument absolutely that should be in the individual's hands. It's a matter of personal agency, but also getting to the point of people in the UK right now. I think anyone would argue that if you're considering, some form of end of life treatment, that part of that absolutely needs to be psychological counseling, and we do that with other large transitional forms of therapies. And I understand the reservation, but I also I would also kind of want that person to see a counselor for the depression anyway, and I'd want the person to see a counselor in order to make this life-ending decision anyway.
A psychotherapist is actually, they should be seeing a psychotherapist. Counselors don't have the same training. They're not.
I mean, I'm using counselor kind of as a catch-all here, but
you have to see a psychologist and have like confirmation from like a team in order to inject hormones into your body, and so with choosing to inject something into you that's going to kill you, that should be a decision. I think that it is something that you get psychological assessment before you make that decision. And obviously, people aren't going to universally do that, and that's a difficult rule to make, especially when in the UK, euthanasia isn't something you can do. You have to leave the country to do it.
Yeah.
And so you won't get counsellors here counselling you on it because it's outside of their jurisdiction.
Right.
Well, see, for this, I know because I have schizophrenia, so I could probably talk all out on this sort of subject. The thing is that for basically anything, like whether it's becoming transgender or doing this sort of stuff, when you have schizophrenia, the thing is doing any of those sort of actions and changes to your body, whatever, they have to make sure that you're not in psychosis before you do it. Because if they don't, you go straight to the psych ward. Now, when it comes to this sort of stuff, physician-assisted suicide, you can't do that unless you're in a very, 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 very severe state, like what you guys are saying, or else you're going to go straight to the psych ward. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Fuck, your keyboard's noisy, Randolph.
Yeah, and so I think that's where it becomes difficult to call, is that we haven't had a long time of dealing with a concept of secular morality that we've got all the answers yet.
Yeah.
Hello, Raw 5069. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're finding the conversation interesting. These after parties.
Sorry, Neil.
I was just going to finish my sentence with these after parties can jump all over the place, but we tend to we have interesting topics, and then we go to goofy stuff, and then we go back to interesting.
Yeah. I feel like this is a pretty intense conversation for a man who was too drunk to open a bag of cookies and had to settle for grapes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with grapes. Come on.
Well, you managed to get grapes. That's pretty good.
Oh, they're delicious. But
Can't beat
also,
that.
I fucking wanted my EL fudge.
I've got chocolate orange at the moment.
No, they got the little slip you got to get with your fingernail and lift up, and like I am too drunk to have the coordination to do it.
We've got my roommate bought 3 boxes of the mint chocolate Girl Guide cookies that come out this time of the year. So,
Rags, you should drive up here and open my cookies for me.
All right, I'll see you in a couple hours. Bye, guys.
That's a homie.
Give him a blowjob
right?
for that.
Great. There you go.
Hey, you
right.
get a blowjob out of it. Swallows or spits? I'm negotiating for Rags here.
You know, you close your
Like
screen
having
off.
a conservative advocate on my side. This is nice. He's thinking like he's making the connections for me.
This is
No,
the
yeah,
open market
I
right
saw
here.
you close your screen out, and I was like about to Google how to give a good blowjob.
You have a penis. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I
what
have never
results
had a
you
good
get. So now I'm
blowjob.
for real curious.
Every blowjob I have had has been ridiculously unpleasant.
Yeah, well, you know, I can't say that for all the ones I've had, but yeah, teeth. Yeah, that's always an issue. But I can honestly say that there have been good ones and not so good ones.
And nothing's more disappointing than getting one of those bad blowjobs. Like you finally,
Right?
you put in this work, and now you're here, and it's like, stop.
And apparently, it doesn't. The quality doesn't correspond with looks.
No, not even close.
Are we going to have a deep throat conversation next?
Let's talk about Madonna.
Take it off. I better change my name back. This is getting too gay for me.
I'm the first one to mention a woman in this conversation.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We all have our sexual preferences, and
I didn't say who gave me the bad blowjob.
well, no, and I wouldn't expect you to divulge that kind of information on the interwebs like that. So,
And do you think a man is capable of giving a bad blowjob? Then just
I don't know. I can honestly say I personally don't know. If I ever decided to swing that way,
you started denying that a little preemptively.
Fair enough. I'm just saying,
we've heard about what you rock stars do.
If I ever swung that way, I'd probably be better than a lot of them. So there you go. I like to take pride in the things that I'm capable of doing.
Randolph turned off his camera right when this conversation started. Randolph, what do you know about Neil that we don't?
All right.
I think I have the same butane torch. I use it for tempering chisels whenever I refurbish them in the shop.
I stole this one from an electrician.
Makes sense.
They use it to melt the conduits that they run wires through.
Yeah. Klaus, I am sorry to say you are wrong.
Yeah, no.
That is as far as I will go.
Yeah, that's.
But that does hold true like 95% of the time. When you get that random one off that's worse than no blowjob, and she doesn't take instructions, is what that means.
Mm-hmm. Liberty weekend in boot camp. I considered going to medical.
I bet that was a bad blowjob.
Ridiculously so. There was blood.
I've had them where I'd rather hit myself in the head with a hammer.
Because you know what? I've been through the braces gauntlet, and I didn't think it was no problem at all until the next day. For whatever reason, like I was fine in the moment, and the next day it's like, oh my God, I can't walk.
Like sandpaper, huh?
Yeah, probably serotonin rush.
Probably. I was also fucked up.
Yeah.
And in high school. All the things worked out to where I was going to have a good time one way or the other.
Nobody has a good blowjob in high school. Nobody.
Oh,
that I can.
Whatever. I loved high school.
You got to think of this too. You're having sex when your parents don't know about it. In the other room, behind the door, behind the door.
We went into the
hiding it from him. You know what I mean?
We were in the half bath for this one. Like if they walked out of their bedroom, they wouldn't think it was suspicious that we were locked in the half bathroom together. But we didn't get caught. My parents, yeah, it was at my house.
My first blowjob was in high school. Her name was Joanne.
Hi, Joanne, if you're watching.
Yeah. This is the thing.
Mine was Holly. Shout out to Holly if you're watching.
So I gotta ask, of the people on here who were theists as teenagers, how many had other types of sex to get around the forbidding of other types of sex?
What does that even mean? What do you mean?
Like, in the Bible Belt, it's not uncommon to have butt sex or oral sex to get around the forbidding
Now, I think that's mostly a rumor. In my experience, church girls were great because they were repressed.
Just ask Frank Zappa, right?
I do like Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of repressed, and if you can fit that niche, that bad boy niche, but not too bad, like the safe bad boy, then you can get all sorts of church vag.
Like you wear a leather jacket, but the kind of leather jacket you can wear to church on Wednesday
with a cross embroidered on it.
No, that's not happening. I ain't putting that shit on. But I got a nice leather jacket. It's a nice one, longer one, comes down to just above my knees. It's got some, it looks like a decent jacket.
If you wore a blazer with your like hair and shit going on, yeah. You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy. You could work the bad-ish boy angle.
Yeah.
It's a lucrative thing.
There was something I was going to point out that you see, the thing that frustrates me about this whole thing, because I know a lot of people do things behind their parents' back, and then their parents try to control them for doing things, and they still end up doing things.
So they need a single payer system.
You know what? And then when they go independent, they do it anyways. And their parents are like, what? They're like,
don't we all do that, dude? Don't we all do that?
But this is the thing. This is the thing that gets to me, because you see, like, I still am dependent, and then they're like still trying to control me over this sort of shit, and it's like, I'm fucking tired of this crap.
Yeah, get the hell out of there.
I'm gonna let the people who
get out of
get their sex talk in a graveyard talk about parents, because I don't know what's normal.
So I
Right.
was in a weird position with my parents, because with my mum, I had to get very good at hiding things. With my dad, I could ask him to buy me condoms.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the funniest thing I've ever seen when it comes to the condoms and the parents doing the condom thing was there was a meme out a little while ago with mom saying, "Have a good time tonight on your date, son, and remember to practice safe sex." And she's got the condom thumbtacked to the fucking board. It's gone from being a papa stopper to a baby maybe. Right? So,
oh no,
Here in Alabama, teachers are actually allowed to lie to their students during sex ed. That is specifically allowed on books.
Wow. You think you'd want to give them the digs on what's true, what the sex education is really about, that might actually convince them that maybe they should wait or whatever?
Well, there's a lot of religious prudishness when it comes to sex education.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Rags is probably the same way in Tennessee.
I was going to say, coming up in Tennessee, our sex ed was abstinence first sex ed, so technically they could teach us about everything else, but it was all about the pitfalls of contraception and the pitfalls of disease prevention. It wasn't these are it was, you can use a condom, but that's only 80% effective if you use it correctly every single time, and most people don't. And then here are all the terrible things that can happen to you, and we just figured out what HPV is, and 1 in 4 of you probably already has it, and on and on and on. Birth control is really effective for some people, but it can cause incredible health consequences, and then if you forget it, you might get pregnant anyway. It just on and on and on.
And what gets to me too is now, like, my grandparents is like, what do you do on the internet? Like, right to everybody in the world, and they don't fucking understand how the internet works and what the internet does. And it's like, fucking A. Like, everybody does shit on the fucking internet. Like, everybody's whole fucking lives are on the goddamn internet. Like, who the fuck cares?
I mean, in that I got, I took away 2 things really from all of the sex ed lessons I had ever, and neither of those 2 things were what sex is. The first was a healthy concern about STIs. And the second was that a salt and vinegar crisp packet makes a bad condom.
Yeah.
Ouch. And I just noticed Neil's. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Christian, stop changing your name because the fucking A one just cracked me up. And now is Neil's long lost boyfriend.
Sam,
Hello,
have you,
full sakes, friend.
Sam, have you,
Katie, we gotta stop talking about bad blowjobs.
Hello,
Sam,
Katie.
have you tried a prawn cocktail crisp packet by any chance?
Hello from Canada.
No, that was. But the thing is, that's not even something that I know through being a dumbass. That's something that I learned because my teacher had learned the previous year that apparently he has to tell kids this now because one of his students had tried it.
It's like
Are you kidding me?
It's
Well,
like when you get it's like when you get a new chainsaw and it says
Go for the cheese and onion then.
I mean, the vinegar at least would alter the pH enough that maybe it would work as a spermicide.
oh, it's like when you get a new chainsaw and it says do not attempt to
It's your
stop
great
blade with
lube.
hand or groin.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
You know somebody
something
did
happened this morning now applies.
Unfortunately, it has been done.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not- I want your sex
It'll be
education
best.
class. Like
Yeah, we
I
had
wish I
it
would-
too.
Wow.
we got given a great statistic in high school to warn people away from porn. We got told that 87% of porn.
I'm hoping for porn.
We got told that 87% of porn is actually rape because at least one of the actors is drugged.
That's not true.
That's
Wow.
No, not
A
even
lot.
close.
Not that a deterrent.
I will say I don't think it's a non-zero amount, and I'm concerned with that.
No. They're
bothered by that.
a branch
Yeah,
of it.
there are
that-
and there are definitely coercive tactics and that sort of thing, but yeah, that's
It's a sleazy, slimy, abusive industry, but that's not true.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's one of the
there's a lot of
reasons-
porn sites. There's a lot of porn sites where you can actually upload your own porn videos onto.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
one of the
very
reasons
popular
I
Canadian
like
one
the
called Pornhub.
aspects of the industry that allow you to buy directly from the people who do produce it and are
Mhm.
interested in producing it. I think it's a lot more ethical.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, if you're going to buy porn, you can buy bespoke porn. You can buy exactly what you want, tailor-made for you. So,
Yep.
Right.
buy,
I am glad this is the first time this conversation has come up.
right? It's comfortable to have this conversation with you in
Yeah,
front
we
of.
needed to have this conversation at some point.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. In front of
Yeah.
our child.
I presume that Pikachu has an OnlyFans account.
No. No.
I just learned that a girl in my building has an OnlyFans account. And I'm like, so link me.
Yeah, but
Have her on the show.
it's sad that these Christians don't understand that you can actually upload your own porn to the internet.
What? That's gonna blow their fucking minds.
Because Pikachu
Wait,
has
wait, whoa.
Hi, new friend.
fans.
Hang on. Welcome to the stream, Matthew. Where are you today?
I am in near Pierce, South Dakota.
All right. Okay.
I like your shirt, Matthew.
Matthew's a trucker,
that's-
and he's all over
I'm-
the fucking place.
And I'm a rocket surgeon.
Right.
You know, rocket surgery has been one of those fields I have
Yeah.
admired for a long time.
And,
Awesome.
and I'm a fucking 17-star chef in France. You're not a fucking rocket. I'm lucky if I can put a fucking Band-Aid on properly.
No.
Yeah.
That's so awesome the way he lights a cigarette. And I don't even smoke.
I know.
And it stays awesome
Oh.
every time.
Back when I used to smoke, I had this wonderful little butane tri-torch lighter that was just absolutely
I have one of
glorious. I missed the
I've seen
fuck
those.
out of it.
I've
Those
seen
are
it.
for cigarettes.
Oh, I smoked pipe tobacco. I smoked cigarettes. I rolled my own. I smoked cigars. I miss it so bad. I would
Yeah.
blow smoke rings through smoke rings.
Yeah,
Holy
nice.
crap.
Nice
Yeah, I
Gandalf
did-
pipe.
I'm like a social smoker. I just nick off other people, but I do like my lighters. I've got one lighter that I modified, so I think the flame in it is like 1.5, 2 inches tall.
At least that's what you tell her. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger in
Or
person,
whoever
baby.
you're with. My flame 2 inches tall.
Maybe Maybe weed will get legal in Alabama at some point, and I'll just blaze one up.
They
Okay.
might
There you go.
actually. They might have medical marijuana, but that's about it.
It might be a while before we have recreational.
Yeah.
I mean, I think here and
That
Rory
fucking
might
sucks
feel
for you guys.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks.
Only if
I
you follow
feel
the
so
law.
heard right now.
Rory, you might be able to correct me on this, but I think the only political party in the UK that doesn't want to legalise weed at this point is the Tories.
Probably. Yeah, I
Are
don't know for
Tories
sure.
conservative?
Tories are conservative.
UKIP probably doesn't want to neither, but I don't think UKIP even exists anymore.
I don't know that we count UKIP.
On behalf
Yeah.
of the right wing, not very many of us support drug criminalization, for what it's worth. I know we get the blame for it,
Yeah, that's
There's a difference. There's a,
but
Who
it flies,
actually-
it flies in the face of individual liberties.
Yeah, who actually supports drug criminalization? I don't know anybody who
The
actually.
prison
Christians.
industrial complex, the police unions,
Christians.
the alcohol
Christian.
industry.
And again, I just had a conversation with my nephew about that because he was talking about like them decriminalizing all drugs in Oregon and that sort of thing. And he's like, he had heard the line, "They're gonna kill people. They're decriminalizing heroin. They can just go get it now." And I had to have the conversation with him of like, if someone's on heroin,
already
this was a
go get it.
process. If I gave it to you right now, you wouldn't do it, right? Like nobody's gonna go out and try heroin because now it's legal, which it's not. It's just decriminalized. But I was,
Right.
I had to walk him through, this is how we address mental health concerns and addiction and recovery. We have to get rid of that barrier to entry of somebody having to face a criminal sentence for having what's essentially a health issue.
You should
And
be able
then
to
we
be
move
an
forward.
addict without being ejected from society.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether
Yeah.
it's explicit through a prison sentence or implicit through you have to live your life in this weirdo way to get your fix. Everybody knows a functioning alcoholic. Nobody knows a functioning crackhead. And it's not because alcohol is not as bad a drug as crack. It's worse. It's because
It does
you
work.
can actually
I
live your
agree.
life. Yeah. I mean, I've been to rehab enough times. I know what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Jonathan.
Oh shit! I gotta
Yeah.
leave. I'll talk to you guys.
No, you
later.
haven't. No, stay here. Jonathan, one more question.
Yeah.
Regarding smoke rings, I used to fire 25-pounder guns for Royal Salutes
Those
at
big rings.
at the Tower of London.
Nice.
And they were the biggest smoke rings you've ever seen in your life.
I believe it.
Yep. They're huge. We have the 9 o'clock gun here, and they actually shoot a little packet out of this thing, and it still smokes, or put smoke rings out there too when they fire it
The
up.
closest I got to that was getting to see them fire guns off the USS Constitution in Boston.
Nice.
Rags,
Nice,
we should
yeah.
go to Boston.
I
love
used to live in Boston. I would love to go.
We should go to Boston.
Yeah.
I have a relative that was John Winthrop, governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Holy shit! Really?
Yep.
That reminds me, tons of mice. I remember my first porn. I was really, really young at the time.
I love that joke.
Creepy.
Yeah, I know. I watched it recently, and man, did I ever look young? Mind you, I don't look very young anymore. Now that my fucking facial hair has gone completely white.
Oh, looking young is overrated.
Well, you know what I always say? Growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional.
It amazes me how ugly I felt as a child, and I've looked back at my pictures from when I was younger, and I was like, "That was a handsome little bastard."
Mm-hmm.
We are our own worst critics, aren't we?
We really are.
Yeah.
Yep, we are.
Oh, I'm just going to grab the picture.
We're hardest on ourselves. So
I'm just going to grab the picture.
I've not gotten to the point where I can very often look at myself and go, yes, this person is looking.
Good night, Nesta. In the chat.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I missed the last part of what you said there, Sam.
I said, and it's not very often that I can kind of convince myself that I at least look okay.
I think you're a good-looking kid. What are you talking about? Oh, look at this.
Look at that handsome little son of a bitch in his dress blues.
I prefer the after.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh. Anyway, Sam, don't sell yourself short. You're a good-looking kid. Don't even sell yourself short. Okay.
I just don't see it. I mean,
Well,
when I dress more femme, I tend to agree more, but we'll see.
No,
Fair
you're
enough.
just not your type.
You're just not your type.
There
That's
you
an
go.
interesting way to look
The
at it.
problem is that I am entirely my own type.
Donald Trump's
frustrating.
ass.
Well, you should turn your camera on and stop worrying about it.
You don't want to see me at the moment.
I don't care about seeing you. I'm just saying from a self-perception point of view.
Yeah, just normalize looking at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good. That's a good place to start. Yeah. I would
Look
agree.
at the mirror
I'm
more
getting
often.
better at it. I've convinced myself that I'm at least not ugly, which is a start.
That is a start.
But we don't know that. You could be lying. You could be ugly as shit.
No, Sam's not ugly as shit. No.
I actually do show my face where I can. I'm just not presently in a position to do so.
Are you naked?
Yes.
As one does.
Well, prove it. Picture it didn't happen.
He's wearing a birthday suit.
What
He's
the
wearing that
what?
birthday suit.
What in the fuck? What happened here? I didn't know you knew Arabic. See if I can read it. I can read a little bit there.
Oh, you ever hop on
No.
Dillahunty's GeoGuessr streams?
No.
Like every time I am on there on his Twitch channel when he's on GeoGuessr, it ends up being something where he has to figure out where he is, and there's typically Arabic. And my running joke whenever that happens is, well, you can tell it's not Scotland because the Arabic would be plaid.
Kneel before the cocaine.
Yeah. I can honestly tell you I've never actually done cocaine like the way you're, the snorting and stuff. I smoke. No fucking interest. And I did, however, unknowingly participate in a joint where someone's rolled into it.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
They call that a Cocoa Puff, right? Anyway, so and I
Best joint ever.
I have no desire to. I'm good with my weed and my beer, and that's all I need. I have no desire to try cocaine. I've seen what it does to friends of mine. It destroyed them, and same with crack and stuff like that. It just fucking destroyed their lives, and I have no desire for that.
Yeah,
I've known people who snorted cocaine. The outcome's never good, and a lot of them have problems where their nasal cavity deteriorates.
Yep.
So these.
That's why you got to
only
shoot it up.
illegal drug I have tried is marijuana. And I'm just going to lie and say that I did it in a place where it was legal. But I make my own
Canada.
pizza, and I got to have my own pizza while high off my ass. And I loved it because I could tell the different layers of taste with my tongue when I ate the pizza. Like I put it on there and I felt like the bit that was on the pan
You're
on
really
the stove,
high.
and then I felt the spongy bit, and then I felt the wet bit beneath the sauce, and then I felt the sauce, and then I felt the cheese, and I felt like the individual little salt crystals. And
It's like the first time I had a dab.
yeah, like
I feel like you're convincing yourself of this.
No. I described it as it was happening. I remember it,
Oh, okay.
and it was great, and I really enjoyed it, and I'd like to have that happen again at some point. But
I
also,
think everyone should try shrooms.
Oh, I've been there, done that. Can't do them.
I would like to try them.
I did
actually
it
wonder
4 times, and it made me sick to my stomach every single time.
I actually wonder what kind of chemical imbalances the cocaine and crack cocaine would do to the actual brain itself.
Hello,
How
it's a
bad that
drug.
would
It
be.
does chemically alter your brain. Every drug does that.
No, how bad the chemical
even-
imbalances would be.
Even sugar does that.
Even water.
Sugar
Well-
sugar is severely addictive. People don't realize it because you're never
Oh, yeah.
off of it. But yeah, the first time I
Yeah.
went to jail, as an adult, oh my God, I wanted sugar. I didn't care about cigarettes. I didn't care about dope. I didn't care about anything but sugar. It was wild.
Sugar's hardcore. And I've seen what do they call them when they map your brain and encephalogram or whatever the fuck they call it. I've seen what happens to, and that's the word. And I've seen what happens to your brain when you start drinking sugar. Like seconds after you start eating sugar, drinking sugar, whatever the case may be. It's unbelievable what happens in your brain. It just turns on all this fucking crazy ass shit in your head. And
Between sugar and cell phones, we're fucking our kids up.
Well, cell phones I wouldn't worry so much about.
That's all the same reward centered.
Oh yes, of course.
It's just like a casino, basically. They got a little casino in their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, Christian. Are you playing with your avatar right now?
Christian's been playing with it all night. Oh wait, that could be misconstrued. Someone's gonna clip that.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, what the chemical damage would be with the cocaine in the brain would be, and so forth. How bad it would be compared to certain things like your medications and your stuff like that.
I mean, it depends how bad your come down is from cocaine is the big one, because coming down from cocaine can, especially if you're predisposed to it,
don't do that.
Cause, it can cause depressive episodes. One of the reasons cocaine is one of the things I'm not going to be trying.
I had cocaine with Guns N' Roses at a concert in Missouri once, and I've never recovered.
Really?
You lucky
that explains a lot.
Oh, Guns N' Roses are awesome.
You just went up a whole nother level with me there, Rory.
Doing
cocaine with rock
make
stars.
something that cool. I want to be able to make up something that cool. Rags, make up something that cool about me.
Oh god. Okay.
spot.
So
Here we
this one time I was there, so I know that it happened. And Jonathan, like, we were just hanging out. We met up in a park and it was awesome. And all of a sudden Gene Simmons walked by and he stopped because we had stopped on the trail to eat a couple of bananas, and he asked if we had a spare banana. Well, you know, Gene Simmons, like, how are you gonna turn that down? But I didn't have any bananas, but luckily, Jonathan had brought his wallet. So we actually walked back down the trail and he sang a couple of a cappella versions of a couple of different songs. And once we got back to the trailhead, we all stopped at a snack bar and had ice cream sundaes together.
Babe, that was a wonderful story, and I appreciate you making it up, but no.
That was amazing, right off the top of your head.
That was surprising, but also nobody's going to believe
that. The level of improv that I expect from DMs.
Well, I've played D&D for
Rags and I are
23
actually
years.
in a D&D group together. That's how.
Yeah, with Christian, actually. Christian is our DM. Rolling
That's
Secular
pretty
on Twitch on Tuesday nights, I think, is where we're at right now.
I think we're on Tuesday night still.
But
We've
I'm
had some
part of
discussion.
like 3 different gaming groups.
That's
for
great.
D&D, so
Yeah.
Oh, should I get DM? I have a feeling that Christian's just doing everything through his avatar and nameplate all night tonight. That's how he's part of this.
That's what he does sometimes.
Oh, it's hysterical. It's hysterical.
That's Christian.
I almost want to do mine now, but no, I'm not doing it.
No, you're on here. You're actually talking to us. Christian's doing his thing.
Right. He's doing his thing, and that's fine. Well, guys, I'm gonna. It's going on 9:34, and I still have a couple things I got to take care of around the house. So, I'm gonna say that we're getting close to the end here. So, before I forget, I've got to add everyone else that has joined to the stream tonight, like Flo State.
We're so thorough, Neil.
And Randolph. And of course, Matthew, who couldn't stick around. And I wonder if I'm going to have enough characters for this. Anyway, it'll work. One way or another, I'll make it work. If it has to be a 1 and 2 part, I'll do it that way. But I want to thank. It's great having you in tonight. All the guests for the after party, and of course, my guest of honor tonight, Dishonest Ape. I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat with us. Hope you guys had a good time. Sorry that who else was in here? Oh god, I've got everyone down. Okay, we're good. Anyways, Jonathan, hopefully you've been drinking water, which is always a good thing to do. When
it is a good thing. It is a good thing.
After every couple of beers, you throw down a little water, and it keeps you from getting a hangover. At least I found.
Yeah. That, and you
Stay
have
hydrated.
like a BLT in the morning, or maybe
You gotta go for that
like
greasy
sausage.
breakfast. That's what we used to do.
Like you go for a greasy thing with like plenty of vegetables and tomatoes on it. But yeah.
What? Vegetables? That's what my food eats.
BLT, man.
I love the BLTs. No, don't get me wrong. I'm kidding. I love BLTs.
Yeah, but you probably like the bacon lettuce tomato sandwich, not the bacon lettuce tomato sandwich.
Black pudding, Sam. Black pudding.
Yeah, I've never had it.
We were just talking about that the other day.
We were.
Yes.
Anyway, I like the belt that they have at Tim Hortons. It's the bacon, egg, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah.
On a bagel.
Out of curiosity, like how many cups do you have in your back seat from Tim Hortons right now?
There was a time when you couldn't put your feet down in the back seat of my car with all the cups. Currently, I've been stopping doing that, and right now there's one in there because I picked it up before band practice this morning.
As one does.
Right. I had that and a couple of bagels before going and screaming my ass off at the studio.
Damn, I love a good bagel.
Oh yeah.
I learned how to make them. I learned how to make them from scratch. It's great.
Did you?
Great. Yeah.
Like, are we talking the Montreal style bagel? The real?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I looked up a bagel recipe and then I made bagels.
Should be hard and crispy on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside. Like
That sounds
chewy,
right.
not soft like the ones you can buy at the grocery store where you go like this and they actually squeeze. No. You should be able to play 3 periods of hockey with that fucking bagel.
No. It's chewy. It is a chew.
Right. Crispy and chewy in the center.
You
It's
toast
really
it,
good
you
bagel.
put cream cheese and chive and maybe some gravlax on there, and you call it good.
Smoked salmon. You got it.
Neil, you ever have gravlax?
Yes, I have.
Dude, I make gravlax. I fucking love it. It's delicious.
It's so good. It's
Amazing.
really good. All right, now I'm hungry.
I'm sorry. I'll do that.
Got the munchies.
All I've got, well, yeah, you can thank the gummy bears for that. All I got here, though, is a bunch of fucking mint chocolate brownie girl
Dude,
guy.
you have a fridge. There is no excuse for not having some smoked salmon or gravlax on hand.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I grew up a Jew. I've had all kinds of locks.
Yeah.
What are the best locks?
Right. Exactly. YouTube got. Oh yeah, guys. If you're into, I guess. Actually, Flow State's got a lot of really interesting videos on his channel, so definitely go check it out. But anyways,
Neil's in British Columbia, for goodness sake. Plenty of salmon.
Oh, hell yeah. We've got them all here. All the good ones. Pacific. Don't fall for that Atlantic salmon bullshit. Okay. It's Pacific.
I live in Alabama. I will take what I can get.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And funny enough, we have a lot of sushi places here. Go figure.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're on the water, right?
We have in our sushi place the California roll, which was invented in BC, and the BC roll that was invented in California.
Yeah. Weird. I like dragon rolls. It's got the eel and shit on them. Those eel and avocado. Oh, my God. So good.
You ever just have like the barbecued unagi, which is just the rice bed?
Yep. Oh yeah, all the time. Oh,
I wanted to ask Frustrated one other thing. How big were you guys on Alabama football?
Frustrated? Who's frustrated?
Frustrated something. Or Jonathan something. How big were you guys on Alabama football?
Me?
Yeah.
I wasn't into football. I was an anomaly in the South.
Well, how big was the family in the Alabama football?
They lived around it. It was their life. Church and Alabama football. That's
so
it.
Tuscaloosa, Crimson Tide, all that sort of stuff.
Crimson Tide exclusively.
Rock atheists.
All other forms of football were heresy.
So basically, if they lost to say LSU or Auburn, it was hell on high water. You know.
I think the only thing that damaged the family's position on Alabama football is them supporting Black Lives Matter.
Oh,
wow, really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course you're surrounded by fucking water, Klaus. You're in Australia.
What
And
else could you be
actually,
surrounded with?
every continent is surrounded by water. Just saying.
Neil, I'm too drunk
Big
for you to
water.
get into this metaphysical shit.
I know. All right, we'll stop. I'm bringing this to a close, anyways. Christian, your avatars and name changes have been amusing the entire time. Just thought I'd let you know.
Very. I'm going to go back and view this thing just to see all of them.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like I missed some.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably.
The Rock is an atheist there.
Yeah, the Rock.
Well, rocks are atheists. Just ask Aaron Ra.
Yeah. I mean, they are in one respect. Like if you just don't hold any deities in your head at all, or not that rocks have heads, but you know what I mean. Like if you don't believe in God, you're an atheist. Rocks don't believe in God, so in that respect, they're atheists. But they can hold a position technically. So
See, I got into a conversation with Aaron Ra about this, and it basically came down to, okay, so you're saying rocks are atheists because Christians say rocks are Christians.
oh,
Because even the stones cry out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I said to them, in what other context? I said to him, in what other context is it useful to say rocks are atheists? And he admitted that was literally the only reason he ever says rocks are atheists. But he says it so staunchly, even to pagans.
this might be a valid argument.
More than pagan, they'd be more generic animists.
Yeah, I guess maybe they might not be if one of them pees on them though. So
I'm going to nod my head like I understood what you meant by that.
you guys, this is all shit that we talk about another time. I got to bring this shit to an end. We'll just keep tangenting off onto other things here, and I want to say my thank you. So thank you to, of course, the guest of honor tonight, Jonathan, also known as Dishonest Ape. There's a link in the original interview, which is also linked below in the description box. So you can go and stalk him on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter. And also, thanks to Pikachu. It's good having you in here again, brother. Yep. Rags, great having you in. First time participant, long time viewer, as you said earlier. Sam and Rory, both from across the pond. Great having you guys in here. Always a pleasure. Flow State, you always bring a good edge to this when you pop in here, for sure. Neil,
I try.
Neil Schill, True North Talk. Thank you for joining us as well. That's Christian J. Watkins, just FYI, guys. And I just wanted to say thank you. Also, Randolph, for joining tonight. If you guys are up for it, you can check out, there's a link below to Randolph and I are starting up our own call-in talk show called True North Talk here in Canada. And if you're into hearing yet another one of those kinds of shows, go and give us a follow or a sub or a like and all that stuff. And anyways, until next time.
Yep. It's going to be great.
Well, I mean,
Thanks, Christian came back. What happened to Neil?
Yeah. Christian wanted to be himself for the end.
And
this is the end. This is the end. Never mind.
You forgot to say thanks to Flow State's friend there.
Flow State's friend in the background.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I'm the crazy knucklehead called Neil that for some reason Taylor likes jumping into these after parties. So
I know.
Yes. Yeah, I've had to put up with this for months now.
Yeah.
It's nice to
You
see
can
you.
normally hear these going on.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, hopefully they're enjoyable to some degree. Listen, guys,
them.
we
enjoy them together.
There you go. We may not all see eye to eye all the time, but we're all humans and we should still treat each other with respect regardless.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, guys, don't forget, like I said, to check out True North Talk. It's actually in the background on my little screen here, but of course, there's a lot of us in here, so we're covering it up. But you can find us on CanadianAtheist.ca, and you can also find us at TrueNorthTalk.com or .ca. I think it's CA, right?
Both of them. Both of them are correct.
Both
They both
of them
were.
are correct.
And there is a link to the channel below. And until next time, guys, with the whole pandemic thing going on, remember to be well and be safe, and above all, be kind. And like I always say at the end of these after parties, like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And we'll see you guys next time. If you like the intro and outro music, let me know. I'll hit you with a link to my SoundCloud where you can hear all the cool shit that my band called Luminous does. And we will see you guys next time.